So SANU is easily one of the best spikers and most favorited spikers in Volleyball Legends. And that's really because he's a purebred spiker. His jump is maxed out, his spike is maxed out, and what makes him so unique is his style has a tilt function. Well, everyone can tilt, but his tilt left, right, down, up, and you hit that ball in that direction prominent, like very good. So he's pretty good. However, the abilities. Now, when you're playing the game, you wonder you just choose your favorite ability. But what is the best ability or abilities to use with SANU? We're gonna explore that, right? This is based on my opinion. I'm not saying this is a definite fact that everyone should use, and this is just based on what I've used, right? So we're just gonna talk about from least to greatest, right? And we're gonna talk about common, super sprint. If you use super sprint for any spiker, this is a great option. It's easy to get, it's a common. And what this does is basically gives you faster run. So you see how he has no speed? Basically for a small period of time, when you activate that ability, your speed is gonna be boosted and you're gonna run much faster. And that will allow you, especially for SANU, he's slow, as you can see. You can run and save more balls, or like get to the other side and spike if you need to, stuff like that, you know? Now another one, I'm gonna go on to rare now, is boom jump. Boom jump is so useful with spikers, especially in my opinion. Because what boom jump lets you do is jump super high. That's literally what it is in the name, boom jump. Now with SANU, you can jump pretty high already, right? You can jump just above this pole right here. However, if you use boom jump, you jump way higher. And this is very useful when you have the opponent spiking the ball, and they miss it and it gets too low and it just comes over the net. Or maybe the opponent bumped the ball, so it goes straight up here, and then you can jump up and spike it down. Another situation is maybe when your setter or whoever set the ball sets the ball like this, like it's coming down, and you can just spike it at its highest point instead of waiting for it and then spiking it. Like, of course, you can always just wait and then spike it, but like when they set the ball and it goes straight up, let me just get rid of this ball, boom. They set the ball up, instantly you can just do that. I mean, maybe it's a little subjective, but I feel like it would work out because people don't expect you to jump, or they expect you to jump early or jump at its latest, like boom. However, the thing is, like, the hitbox is a little weird in this game. So if I did a normal jump, you see it lands over there, like right about here, right? However, if I did that with boom jump, oop, I kind of missed it. So let me restart that. I forgot to actually spike. So if I did that with boom jump, you see the ball landed a little bit further. So this is just like an easy way to, like, you don't have to jump, but also you can jump in different directions, which is the cool part about it. So you can jump in different directions and stuff like that. You could jump backwards, forwards, left, whatever it may be. Boom, right? So this is pretty useful. Maybe someone set the ball over here, but you're over here, and maybe it was meant for someone else, and you might want to steal the ball. You can go like this, and boom, at its highest peak. Or, I mean, you can always just aim for the ball and jump like this, but it's kind of cool to do that because why not? It's boom jump. But I definitely like to use this, have this ready for like when people accidentally bump the ball over to my side, and I just boom jump it and spike it down. On to the last two abilities that I want to talk about is Magnetic Pull and Shield Breaker. So Magnetic Pull is a new recent secret style, or well, ability, and this was in a previous update. And what this does is basically it pulls the ball towards you. So I kind of want to try and emulate this. So like if I have the ball, if like it has a certain range. So if the ball is over here, I could jump, press F, and it'll come towards me and I can spike the ball. It's a pretty good ability to have because people won't expect you to pull the ball towards you. Or maybe when you're jumping and you press F and you jump and the ball follows you to the side and people are already jumping, waiting to ready to block you. And as they're falling down, you still have the ball and you're in the air, you can spike it down. It's a pretty common thing to do when people have this ability. Now talking about Shield Breaker, now this is one of my favorites. This is like my all-time favorite because this is very helpful, especially when you have like a full game, like a full lobby, a 6v6. Even if it's just like three people and you have someone that's good at blocking, this works pretty good. Like what happens is you enable it and then spike it, and as you see, the ball gets like a power up and it'll break through the blockers, right? So it's just amazing. As it's in the name, Shield Breaker, and it breaks through a shield. It only breaks through one person's shield, right? Now, if there's another person behind that person, then they can save the ball, which is a pretty common thing. But Shield Breaker is pretty good, um, especially when you have multiple blockers. So maybe, especially with Sanu's tilt, I like to tilt and try and aim for a person on one of the sides. And no one is, a lot of people like to block on one side, you know, and I break through them. So I feel like with Sanu, it's very versatile with the abilities. But if you want to go for something higher up in the tier list, Magnetic Pull and Shield Breaker is like the the best to use with any spiker, but with Sanu especially with the tilt function, ooh, he makes him unstoppable. Really does. And but yeah, as you can see, I use Shield Breaker and Boom Jump. I've never gotten Magnetic Pull yet. Um, but ever so rarely when I feel like using a common, I use Super Sprint just so I can sprint closer to the ball, sprint faster to the ball. If it's a little bit far from me, but it's pretty good. But Boom Jump, I use this mainly when people are messing up and they bump the ball to my side. I can just jump up as soon as it's on our side of the net and I can spike. I'm like, you're super high. So even if they jump, they can't block it. However, they can dive for the ball if they're expecting it. So I feel like Boom Jump, Shield Breaker, Magnetic Pull, and Super Sprint would be a great ability to use for Sanu. But my personal favorites are Shield Breaker and Boom Jump because I do not own Magnetic Pull, so I don't know how it feels. I know a lot of people have it. However, I feel like Shield Breaker and Boom Jump are amazing. And since Sanu already has a high jump, Boom Jump makes sense. And Shield Breaker is for when there's plenty of blockers. Even in matter of fact, let's talk about less people in a game, right? When there's less people in a game, you definitely want to go for Shield Breaker, especially when you're in ranked. Shield Breaker is a free point. If you play like 2v2s or only 3v3s where it's less people, Shield Breaker with Sanu is a literal free point because what's going to happen is a lot of the times, if it's 2v2s, then one person, they're both going to be either trying to dive on either side and save the ball, or When you go up to spike it, they're both going to try and block you. And you can aim for one person and boom, spike it through them. The other person can't do anything because you're both blocking. Or there'll be one person, but since it's just that one person defending the back, it's a lot of ground to cover. So if you use Sanu's tilt and maybe the person's blocking you right here, and you use his tilt and aim for the side next to them, it's just an easy win, an easy point win. So I feel like Shield Breaker is like subjectively just like the best to use still because Shield Breaker is just a free point if no one can save the ball. With Magnetic, you can still see it coming and the ball gliding with you or so, and people can still have time to, you know, spike, counter spike it or block it. But with Shield Breaker, oh, this makes it so easy, man. It's just a free point, literally a free point. So, like, you just gotta think about it. It's a free point with the Shield Breaker, and then you could spike it down just like this, you know. So it's kind of nice, kind of nice. But I feel like Shield Breaker, my top two from what I've used so far is Shield Breaker and Boom Jump because that's literally all I have and that's all I can use. But yeah, that's my opinion on what's the best ability to use for Sanu. So hopefully this was helpful. Like the video if you down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you in the next volleyball video. Remember, guys, score points, win the game. Peace.